everybody, welcome to the channel. My name's Kathy Jarvis, and today we're going to talk about something that a lot of gardeners, especially new ones, don't realize that they need to do, or they're just overwhelmed by all the products that are out there. And what I'm talking about is fertilizing. A good garden will need to be fed, and there's different ways to feed it. You can go every 2 weeks and feed it a fertilizer, or you can start out the season by using a good compost on it and then only fertilize it about mid-season when it starts to deplete the nitrogens and the phosphorus and the potassium that's inside the fertilizer. So first of all, remember, compost is always the best thing to use, but sometimes we just can't afford it because it's too expensive. We can't find it, or we can't make enough of it. And when that happens, you have to turn to a commercial fertilizer. And it can be quite overwhelming when you go to the store and you see all the different types of fertilizers. And this is just a small sampling. So, how do you know what to buy? First thing, it's important to know what each bag or bottle of fertilizer, what it has in it, what's it made of, what's it good for. First, look at the numbers. Now, not all of them show numbers. Like this one doesn't show you the numbers. This one doesn't either. This one says 876. This one does not show you numbers. No numbers, no numbers. 222. This one, I thought I had numbers. 364, 511, and no numbers. So, how do you figure out what those numbers are, and how do you figure out what the ones that don't have the numbers, how do you figure out what numbers should be on those? Well, these three numbers that you see they represent the NPK. Now, if you remember back in your biology and your science, you know that N stands for nitrogen, P stands for P stands for phosphorus, and K stands for potassium. And these numbers on the front are actually the percentage by weight of the nutrients found in each one of the packages. And each one may be different. A bag with the 10, 5, 10 on it would mean that it's 10% nitrogen, 5% phosphorus, and 10% potassium. So to figure that out on ones that don't have it, you can look on the back and where it says the different, where it says nitrogen, it'll say 20, this one says 28% or 24%. And the 5 is 16, so this one's a 24, 8, 16. So you can figure out what it is by looking at the label. Now you got to decide, when you're there, you got to decide if you want to go natural or if you want to go to organic. Actually, it's your own choice, whichever one you want. The University of Massachusetts did a study and found out the synthetic ones will release their nitrogen, but only 46% of the nitrogen is used by the plant. Where the fish fertilizer will release it over a course of like 15 weeks. It takes longer to get into the ground, but 90% of the nitrogen in that is used by the plants. So, the natural ones usually release more nitrogen, but it takes a longer period of time for them to release it. Now you know what the numbers stand for, but what does the nitrogen and the phosphorus and the potassium do for the plant? The nitrogen promotes leaf growth, and you would add that, you would use that on your leafy vegetables. And that's such as your spinach, your lettuce, stuff that you eat with the leaves mainly. The phosphorus is used for cell division and new plant tissue. So this will be used for your flowering plants. We want to have flowers, you want to produce fruit and vegetables. You would use a higher level for that. And the potassium, triggers the enzymes in the plant that regulates the carbon dioxide intakes to control the pores of the leaves in which the gas passes through. So it helps the plant just in overall health. So we've got to decide between the synthetic ones and the organic ones. And one of the difference between them is that the synthetic ones are just that. They're made out of synthetic salts. And you won't find anything hardly on the label that's natural. Where your organic ones are usually made of natural stuff such as alfalfa meal, kelp, manures, chicken manures, cow manures, bat, ginkgo, worm castings, byproducts such as fish emissions, bone meal, feather meal, blood meal, even crab meal. And you'll also find mined minerals such as green sand, rock, phosphorus, crushed limestone, and potash. So it's really a matter of what you want to do with it. You want to put natural things in or synthetic. The natural things help feed the soil as well as the plant. Your synthetics will basically feed the plant and not do much for the soil. Now you've got to decide what type do you want. They come in granule, but you have to mix with water. They have it come in granular that you just shake and put on the ground and have to scratch into the ground. And they also come in liquid form. And you can also buy a weed preventer that has plant food in it. The problem I find with that is I don't like to use it in the garden because the weed preventer also prevents your little seeds from germinating if you don't give it enough time. And it doesn't tell you anything about the plant food as far as I could tell. I couldn't find anything on the container that said that. So, a lot of your containers will also come on here and they'll say, like, it's good for tomatoes and stuff. Let's show you what they're good for. You can buy them especially for roses. You can buy them for herbs. You can buy them for any type of thing. But don't let that fool you. Just because it says it's good for roses, if it's got the right numbers on the front, then you can use it for whatever. And remember, you use your ones that have the high first number, nitrogen. Use those at the beginning of the season when you want to put on growth. And you use it on your leafy plants. And then once they get past the growth and you don't really want them to put out more leaves and stuff, and you want them to start growing flowers, then you might switch to one that has a higher center number, and that will help produce more flowers. And it's alright to switch in the middle of the season. Like, you can start off with a 10-10-10 or 2-2-2, and then as the plant matures, change your fertilizer to match the growth cycle of the plant. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. You have to go, if you're watching this on Facebook, you have to go to YouTube to subscribe. Just hitting the like button on the Facebook doesn't do anything to tell YouTube that you watched it. So go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel if you would. Hit the bell icon so you know when I'm on next. And remember, dream big and follow that dream. God bless. Bye.